Hello, welcome to All the Pies. My name's Si. That big old daft lummox is Kev, and this is the start of a brand new friggin' season. We are playing this Saturday, 5:30, against our fucking biggest rivals, Aston Villa. What's going to happen, Kevin?
God, he scored so many goals.
All right.
That was loud,
So in
Si.
the first 5 seconds there.
Aye, and I'm sure the headphone users will love you for that scream as well. They'll be really. Is that your new trademark? Your new every. Have you just got flies in your house all the time?
It sounds like we're living some kind of fucking cemetery morgue, right? So we've had an issue with the cat has brought in some creature and hid it somewhere, because it's not just like, sometimes you get like little fruit flies that come in. These are like blue bottle flies. Like, where the fuck have these come from? So we don't know whether the cat's brought something in that's decaying a corpse and hidden it somewhere, but we can't smell anything. Or we'd know those birds in the attic. It's not a euphemism. So maybe one of them died up there, and yeah, so we're gonna have to get that sorted. So
I would say so. Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, but there's just one little one in here, and it keeps going around. Just doing me in. And even though I'm a vegan, Kevin, I want to fucking murder it.
Does your cat not do that? My cat's like
tries, yeah.
It's like the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Grabs.
You beginner luck. That's what Mr. Miyagi said, Danielson.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. New season.
Well,
I'll be about you. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I was going to say, there was a bee in my house today, and you know how
scared you of buzzy things.
Buzzy things, yeah. But I know bees are all right, and the essential.
I hope you didn't kill it, wouldn't you? Too scared.
No, I didn't. But I was trying to open the window for it to get out, and I felt like it thought I was attacking it. I wasn't. I was coming in peace, and I refrained from calling the fire brigade to help us out, and went out eventually. But I was a little bit scared because I thought the cat's going to go for it and get stung, and all these things. And in the moment were running from my mind, and I was sweating, and it was an awful experience.
I rescued a queen bee from the house earlier in the spring when they were starting to come out. Put it on top of the bin outside with a little tiny tray of sugar water.
How did you know it was a queen? Did it have a crown on?
It's fucking massive. Like our queen.
Was it
dead?
Yeah,
the queen's dead.
I know. And
king. Like, how backwards is the world of a king? A king. Like, even seeing it's ridiculous. Like, oh yes, your majesty. Who's still believing this fucking fairy tale shit? I've got dragons as well, haven't you? Fucking
all hail King Charles.
Royalist.
I was at Buckingham Palace during the week.
Did you say lizard skins that had been left behind in the transformation?
No, but I tell you what did happen, and at the time it was a strange. So you know how they've got the beefeaters that stand like within the courtyard of Buckingham Palace.
There's a picture of me and you with the beefeater. I remember years ago standing smiling like children with a beefeater. I'll have to get that on for the next video tweet.
It was a teddy bear dressed like a beefeater.
Oh, that's right. It looked like one of us was each other's carers.
Which way around?
Well, both time was special and carers, not special and derogatory, isn't it? Magical.
Yes. So first preview, and you're going to get cancelled. That's excited.
Yeah. On that note, I'm getting wound up lately. You know me, I'm getting older, I'm getting grumpier. And you see that the footage of that? New signing. Lino Livramento. Tino Livramento. Did he see you in outside the training ground when he wouldn't sign the autograph, and the lad kicked his car and put his finger up at him? Have you seen all the?
I haven't seen that.
It's a big thing on Twitter. This 12-year-old lad, everyone's like, he deserves the birch or whatever. Hang him. I mean, everyone's put up in a fucking height about it. Death threats all the 12-year-old kid, and his parents came on and went, so ashamed, blah blah blah. everyone's like, yeah, you should be. And people were like, I knew where my kids, when they were 12, they were with me all the times. I knew where they were. I was like, fuck, what is going on in the world? Like, are we really getting this sensitive and stroppy? But Kev, I know you wouldn't want to say it now on the video, but can you imagine the shit you got up to when you were 12, right? Because I know the kind of shit I got up to at 12, and if there was video phones around then, I would have been, I wouldn't have been, I would have had a different life. So I feel sorry for the youngins who are naughty. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's just naughty kids, you know, and you don't always stay naughty. But he kicked the car with his finger because Tino didn't sign his autograph, right? And people are like, it's the worst thing in the world. Like, I've done worse than that today. I've done worse deeds than that today. And I just think, fucking, everyone's
an angel.
Everyone's getting to fucking.
I was an absolute angel, Si.
Fucking funnies. And I know, apologies, I know loads of the YouTubers who do are proper sensitive and that. You know, there's loads of them royalists, and I think you're all fucking mad.
You seem to be full of energy today, Simon. Have you been taking your tablets?
I haven't been drinking because I've been ill with the drink buckles, so I haven't been taking any opiates. I haven't been taking any benzos. I've been taking anything because it just fucks my body. So I haven't been sleeping. I went from sleeping all the time to not sleeping. But I'm taking like these biohacking tablets. I've got loads of different kinds, like just different names to try and help your brain, and it seems to be working. I've got more here. I've got loads of different kind of herbal and pills. So I'm not taking any kind of stimulants, like fun stimulants. So yeah.
Good. Can I go back to my story about the beefeater?
Mm-hmm.
So, because it did start, and then it went on to a 10-minute rant.
If you go any longer than 15 seconds, Kevin, well, 5 seconds, I have to cut you off and insert one of my stories. But yeah, okay. Feel free. Try again.
No. So yeah, the beefeaters, they stand outside the palace, and they're just kind of. I think they're there for show more than anything else, for just something for people to take a photo of. But you know, they've got to stand still like that, and they must every now and again just go for a little march, just to get the blood flowing. And this guy was marching so slowly, right? And he fell over, and he fell onto his gun, right? And everyone was like, the beefeater fell over. And I was like, yeah, you're laughing, but like, number one, he nearly impaled himself because they've got, like, for some reason, a big spear. Like, if somebody was to jump over the gate, like, he's going to go over and spear him. You know what I mean? He's going to shoot him. Yeah. Whoa!
I just turned that off because it was doing me head in. Sorry.
Strange. But yeah, and then I got to thinking, I was like, so me and my daughter were like, he fell over.
You fell over.
But then I thought, like, what if his safety wasn't on? Like, there was like a shot came off the gun. I could have got shot. I felt like I'd had a near-death experience.
Are they actually loaded weapons? I don't know if they actually are.
I believe so. I mean, if somebody did try and attack him, like you would imagine, like they'd give him proper guns. I mean, he's in the palace at the end of the day. Somebody got past him, like, well, why didn't you shoot him? Oh, because it's a potato gun. Like,
are they not just ceremonial? Like,
no, they're the king's guards. Like, if I'm the king, I'm not going to say to my guard, I'll just get one of those snide guns over there.
I thought they were just for show, and they had like fucking FBI, CIA, MI5, like operatives walking around playing close to just coming like neutralize the target.
Oh,
like, I was with pistol. They have to like push down when they call it. Boom! One shot. Like reload.
Well, this guy
was just like, you know, like proper coppers, like with guns.
Yeah, well, like, this guy fell over, just marching.
But have they not got knives on them?
That's what I'm saying. He nearly impaled himself.
I would have been a fucking hoot.
Well, no, but it would have been a hoot if it was straight bullet came my way. Like, you know what I mean? I'd catch
shot
it. I have to catch it.
Kevin had his glasses on before the start of this, and he was like, "Oh, I've taken them off because the reflections coming in the screen." I was like, "Well, do you need them on?" He was like, "I'm hoping the glasses would take away the attention from my tooth."
I'm going to keep these comments to myself in the future.
Yeah, you should. Right.
Should we talk about the football?
No, shout the football. People have left by now. The average watch duration is 4 minutes. People go, Newcastle news, and then they get us to like, yeah, fucking awful vile human being. Are you ready? Anyway, you ready?
I guess that's
ready.
So,
yeah.
Okay, let's go. 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 Okay, let's go.
fucking double dropped. Right. Football news, as briefly mentioned there, was saying Tino Livramento, another Tino, and in a surprising fucking Twilight Zone, we've just been linked with a Spria.
Yeah, I know.
So we've signed at Tino and we've been linked with an Espria. So first of all, Tino Livramento, Kevin, views. I mean, views.
I'll give you my views. Yeah, good signing. Came from Chelsea.
Came from Southampton. Started at Chelsea.
Came from Chelsea to Southampton.
Yeah.
Then from Southampton to us. I guess the kind of elephant in the room is his injury that he had last season. It's gonna be one of them shows, isn't it, Si? Having your ma jokes already.
Sorry, go on.
When my ma finds out about this, no more vodka Red Bulls for you. Right. So yeah, no. The ACL injury he had last season. ACL injuries, they're not your run-of-the-mill hamstring or knock or bump. It's something that can reoccur. So obviously, the medical team have done their due diligence and all of that. They would have looked into it. There would have been big medicals, and towards the end of last season, he was saying he was ready. But yeah, I mean,
he was playing again. He was playing again last season. Didn't look sharp at first. Listen, I'm not. I didn't. This is just what I've heard. Obviously, I don't follow every match and track every player in the Premier League, but apparently, according to Southampton fans, he was starting to get back to what he looked like towards the back end of the season, and he's young. And there's lots of players who've had ACL. I think, is he? Yeah, I don't know, 19 or 20. Lots of players who've had ACLs, young and recovered. Callum Wilson had one, not young, and look at him last season. I mean, he pretty much stayed fit.
Oh yeah, like I say, I mean, if it's if it's an ACL where you think it's going to keep reoccurring, I'm sure when you go through the medical process, something's going to show up and go, actually, it is. I don't think we should be paying £31 million for a player that.
Did Trippier not have one as well?
I'm not sure.
I think he did. I think so. Write in the comments if anyone's watching.
Yeah.
I'm sure Trippier did.
Let me know, Cardi. Tell us.
Cardi, Gaz, and Nicola. Anyone else is watching, put your names below. Now we get 200 odd consistent views, but
yeah, we do. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it. It's going to be hard for him to play in the position he wants to play in when Trippier's fit, because I think that Trippier is not a player that is easily moved out of that position. Now, I've heard people saying, Trippier can play on the left, Livramento can play on the left. If that was the case, I think you'd probably see Tino Livramento on the left rather than Trippier, because Trippier's got such a good relationship with Miguel Almiron on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
It's just a massive threat for her. But, in terms of squad depth as well, I think it's a good signing. I do think we've probably paid a little bit too much.
Definitely. But if he does get back to that form, then that money's already paid for itself in sell-on fees for a young player. So yeah.
And I think the reason
one we didn't mention actually. We knew it was happening, but yeah, obviously it all been confirmed. He put a very lovely message out to the fans, very touching. Unlike Joel's message to him, which I thought was going to be more heartwarming. But yeah, we've got that. I'm just gonna quickly move on to the slick as fuck here as usual. So moving on from Tino to Aspria, and that is Yasa Aspria, who plays for Watford and is 19. I know nothing about him. He's a midfielder, according to Wikipedia.
I know Brighton's also interested, so their recruitment's generally pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I'm pretty good in it. We snatched another member of their staff as well, didn't we? Because Man City got one of ours, so we bagged another Brighton.
Well, that's it. I mean, strangely enough, I was in Watford on Saturday, and I was going to Harry Potter Studios. Well done. No, I was going to the Harry Potter studios in Watford. Were playing at home, so there was quite a few fans making the way
Next
from
time you
Central
go there, you
London.
should really take the Ben with you.
So yeah, I was kind of eavesdropping on their conversations, and I didn't hear his name mentioned. But yeah, Watford won. Did they win 4-0, 5-0 against QPR at the weekend? So if he was playing in that game, obviously that's maybe what's caught the eye of a few players, a few teams. But yeah, it just seems as though we're going for old namesakes. We're going to be signing Michael Ginola.
No, fucking nostalgia.
David Gillespie.
Yeah, love a bit of nostalgia. Oh, commiserations to Sunderland last night or night before for going out of the Carabao Cup at the these pre-qualification stages, round 1 or something. That was funny. Anyway, another one. We'll quickly move on. Then we'll go on to the new season. You said I think it's pronounced Joachim. I know it's not that. Like I know it's not Joachim. It's not phonetically. I think it's Joachim Anderson from Palace.
I think you're right. I think you're probably right. Yeah.
I would imagine it's Joachim.
I can't remember, but I think when we had a preview for the Crystal Palace game last season, I'm sure he was on our want to watch list. He's central defender, plays on the right hand side.
Well, that's what we need. We don't need any more midfielders, I don't think.
No.
But we still keep getting linked with midfielders. It's like, couldn't we just get some more support at the back?
I think the only thing kind of, because I mean I know this guy is good from set pieces. He's good in the air. He's a strong tackler. I think the only sort of thing that I wouldn't say puts us off him. It doesn't put us off him, but one of the attributes I'd be looking for from that right-sided centre back is pace. I don't think he's got a lot of it. Botman is great defender. We know he's an absolutely great defender. I think they're probably quite similar type of defenders, whereas I would have liked to have seen somebody with a little bit more pace, especially if we're playing a little bit higher up the line. If we're going to be a little bit further forward in games, I don't want it to be sort of susceptible to a ball over the top or a ball through the middle, which did happen a couple of times towards the end of that season. The ball through the middle and not really having the pace to get back with the attacker. But, that doesn't mean that I don't think that he's a good player or we shouldn't sign him. It's just that would be an attribute. But then again, who are you going to go out and get with that?
How old was he again? Did we say he was young?
I think he's necessarily too young, no?
Oh, no, he's 27.
No, I think, he's not young. He's in his prime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nothing. And if he's got good underlying talent, look at what Howe's done with, do you know what I mean? Joe Linton, Almiron, Jacob Murphy, who is fast becoming my favourite all-time player for Newcastle, just because of his crack. It was just, I love it, and I watch when we qualified for the Champions League. His little voice, how excited he was. I watched the Spurs game again a couple of times this week. It's like it's an antidepressant. If you get depressed, people watch the first 20. It's on the Newcastle United YouTube. First 20 minutes. I've watched it literally so many times. Like I know all the words in the commentary now. I know all the words. I know when the goals are. It's like when I used to watch Home Alone or Back to the Future every single night as a kid because I only had 2 videos, video recorder and 2 videos.
Did you watch because there's a couple of versions out there. There's with different commentary on. I like the one with Ando.
Yeah, that's the one I watch. That's the one on the Newcastle's website.
And a little bit off track. I love listening to their commentary all the time, especially Ando. And I think Ando is hilarious because sometimes when we score, like he cheers, but then occasionally he just laughs. Like when we score, he loves with scoring against Pickford. He absolutely loves with scoring against Pickford. Every time we concede, like it gets to a stage where he just laughs, and you think to yourself, he's just laughing at his tiny arms, isn't he? He definitely is.
Well, that brings me on nicely, actually. Pickford rivals, not our biggest rivals, obviously. You know our biggest rivals are, don't you, Kevin?
7, isn't it?
The second biggest team in Birmingham. It's Aston Villa who we are playing this Saturday. First game of a brand new season. It's a stupid question to ask. Really stupid. Are you excited?
I'm a bit blasé about it.
Couldn't give a fuck, me.
I haven't really thought about it much this week at all, really. Or the last week, or the week before
that. Is a good day for me. All right, tomorrow's not a good day. I've got to go for another MRI. 6 o'clock at night, which is a bit weird.
I keep thinking it's Friday today.
No, it's Friday tomorrow. 6 o'clock tomorrow. I've got my MRI, but then Saturday I'm going to see my new car. I've got to test drive my new car. It's arrived. It's ready at the garage. So I'm going to test that. It's in town. I've got to go to town, the garage. So Gaz is taking us up there. He's taking us to the hospital as well. Bless his little heart. He's such a good boy, isn't he? He's a lovely lad.
He is, yes.
Yeah, so they're doing that in the afternoon. Then me and Gaz going straight along to the match. You're free to come up with one to the garage if you want, or I'll just meet you there, whichever you want. But yeah, excited. And I'm so glad I didn't go to the Cellar Cup, because I was, the part of us was going to, when it hadn't sold out, I was going to get tickets last minute to take the boy. And I thought, because he's not going to get to go this season that much if I'm well. And the whole Fagnon with transferring tickets is going to be a right chew on. I still haven't got his account sorted yet.
How's he gonna like,
so he's got a phone now, because we've got him an Apple Watch. So I'm like, I'm rich and I'm bragging. No, I just got him because he's playing out and I like know where he's at all times, because I'm a responsible parent, unlike the parents of the 12-year-old who kicked Tino's car. Birch him. So it's just so I could track him, but he had to have a phone to go there. So he got his sister's old phone, which she's making us pay. I've got to pay her the money. Because she's like, well, no, I was going to trade that in CX. I was like, you didn't even know about trading and stuff up until you. Shouldn't have told her. Shouldn't have told all my secrets. But anyway, yeah. So I'll have to get him in his own Apple Pay account, and then transfer the ticket into his. But it's not straightforward. There's like a video showing how to do it, and I'm quite tech savvy, as you know. And even I was like, that's a fucking headache. So I don't know how all the folks are going to do it. But then, do you know, if you had rang up the box office and said, I haven't got a smartphone, they would have sent you out a card. I didn't know. I would have done that. No. I would have done that, but I've already downloaded it now.
There will be, and I'm sure if it was a case like that, like let's say you were transferring an adult ticket to a kid's ticket, I would imagine you'd be able to pick up a paper ticket from the box office. Sure.
Well, what I'm going to do, nobody grass on us. I'm going to give it a few games, and then I'm going to say my phone broke, and I'm not going back to technology. I'm going to my Nokia and get them to send us a ticket out, because I just can't be asked. Just can't be asked. No on grass. You know what snitches get.
Should we get back to the Villa preview?
Last time we played Villa, it was at their ground. I haven't even looked this up because I remember it very well.
Yeah, we were at the pub.
3-0. We were the Gunner. Nobody go there and try and get autographs. We're not there all the time. Yeah, we got trounced 3-0.
We did, yeah. Watkins put it to the sword that day, and
last time we played them competitively.
Yeah, competitively, yeah. But when we did play them over in America, the couple of players that really stuck out for me, one of which will not be playing, which I'm pleased about, and that is Buendia, because I mean, obviously I don't want to see anybody hurt, but I'm pleased he's got an injury for this game. But then when I looked into it, it's actually his knee ligaments that's done, so he's probably going to be having a lengthy spell out. Yeah. So you might see Villa dip back into the market. While we're talking about Villa in the market, I think they've had a decent window.
They've had a great window,
I think they've had a decent window. So they've brought in...
a lot of people are predicting them to finish above us, which... let's quickly get into this. I know you always go on about you're glad when we don't get mentioned. I've been watching. Did you watch the one with Gary Neville and Carragher? What's it called? Whatever that show's called, where they do the bottom three in the top 6. Nobody mentioned we're in the top 6. I was like, what? Oh, he's kidding.
Oh no, this is unanimous. It's pretty much across the board. Everybody thinks because we nearly finished third, and we're that we're because we're strengthened with team, we're suddenly going to get worse because we've got a few extra games.
It's weird because people are putting Brighton down at like 9th because they're in Europa, and they're putting us down like 7th, 8th because we're in the Champions League. But Villa are also in the European competition, and they're putting them 3rd and 4th. It's like,
no.
What do you think Villa are not going to try for that competition? Because let me tell you, Unai Emery is a master in that competition. So he's going to be probably putting full strength teams out in all of them rounds. So I don't know where you think
I mean,
they've got a better squad depth. I don't think they have got better squad depth than us.
Well, I know, but I still think they've got a really good team, and I think they're going to have a good season.
I think they'll be
up and about there.
I think they'll be up and around 100% top end of the table, 100%. But saying they're going to finish third above where that, I think that's just like, I don't know where people are getting this from.
Well, I mean, the signings they've made so far, they've got Yuri Tillemans, free from Leicester.
Diaby. I just hope he doesn't score against you, because he's always been one of my favourite players that I wanted to get. That really cut deep when he went to them. Really,
he's a good player. He's a good player, and they've also
getting amazing player. He's amazing player.
They're getting that Pau Torres, who's a really decent centre back as well from Villarreal. So look, so far in the market, they've done pretty well. I think they'll definitely dip back into the market again. I don't think they're done at all. I'm pleased that Buendia isn't starting, because I think he would have been a bit of a thorn in the side for us at the weekend. But at the same time, I mean, I picked a man out last season in this game is one to watch, and he had a really good game. And again, I think he could be a threat again. No, McGinn. Well, Watkins as well, but McGinn, I think he's. I don't want to say underrated, because I think people know he's a good player, but he goes under the radar. He does a lot of the hard work.
It's because of his name. It's because of his name and his ethnicity, and like, do you know what I mean? He's not a do you know what I mean? Like if he was called Zhao McGinn, do you know what I mean? Or Lentricio McGinn. But it's just like he's just McGinn, you know what I mean? It's just
I rate him, and I rate him quite highly.
He's a great player, but like
he had to beat a Tonali when we played them in America. He had to beat a Tonali 2 or 3 times, in fact. But
it is that, isn't it? It is that thing of like UK, like whether Irish, Scottish, English not so much, but do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't get glamorized, do they? They just don't get like put in the same category. Unless they do get to the top level, and then so there's like a complete shift, because then once they do get put in that category, that price, because they're a UK player, goes through the roof. But otherwise they're not spoken. So it's either spoken about super highly, or you're not really spoken about at all, and you're a forgotten person. Do you know what I mean? And it's not until they're not playing for you that you realise how much of an impact they have. Same with us last season with Longstaff, who again wasn't talked about, and people were like probably negative about him. And then as soon as he wasn't playing for her, it's like the dip in form was just unbelievable. It was night and day when he wasn't in the squad.
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll continue with Villa for now, because I've got some opinions on that, but I think it'll probably come better when we're attempting to make our predictions for the team sheet. But let's have a look. I did have something up here with.
While you have a look, I'll just say the friendly when we played them, I thought they pretty much played a full strength team from what I remember, and we certainly didn't. We've never played a full strength team in any preseason match. We haven't. And the team we're going to be playing on Saturday won't have played together in preseason, but we'll have trained together 9 times. So I think that was definitely a tactic by Eddie Howe, and specifically for Villa and Unai Emery. I think that was the reason why you haven't seen what team, a full strength team playing together, not even once. But so obviously with that 3 at the back who are playing at the first half, they scored 2 goals really quickly, and Eddie Howe realised we'll not experiment with that anymore. That's Matt Ritchie
changed it pretty quick, didn't he?
Matt Ritchie is part of a back 3. It's not a good move tactically, so he kind of rejigged that around.
I remember rightly, he changed it at the drinks break, didn't he? And then after the drinks break, they looked like a different team, didn't they? I think he was trying to keep Emery off the scent, and I'll play a back 3, and then realise actually the main game I'm trying to play, we could get trounced about 5-0. Yeah, let's not do that.
And I think for the team we had out, remarkable to come back to 3-3.
Yeah, it was. And I've just found the predicted lineup. So this is from Birmingham Live. Villa's predicted. So they're going for.
They're the most unlively sounding bunch on
Birmingham. Right. So they're going for Martinez, obviously in goal, with a back four of Cash, Konza, Mings, and Torres, which doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I have Mings to have a good season this year.
Mm-hmm.
Back to his top form, especially under Emery. He's a pick for the England team for me.
I think he's always had that ability there, hasn't he? When at the beginning he looked like he was going to be a world beater, and then he did go off the boil a little bit. I don't know if he'd had any injuries or what happened there, or if it was just
called Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the latter end of last season looked back to his best again. So yeah, good defender. So they're going for midfield of Kamara, Louise, and McGinn in F3. Again,
and then it's going to be Watkins, BRB, and what you call him.
Bailey, yeah. So looks like a strong team. Louise, I heard some couple of teams might be interested in Louise testing the waters with Aston Villa.
Was he out all season last season?
Who?
Douglas Luiz.
No. Played against
us. He got a gruesome injury, didn't he?
Are you not thinking about with Diego Carlos?
Yes, I am.
The centre back.
Yes, I am.
No. Douglas Luiz, the midfielder.
Diego Carlos. Yeah.
Really good player.
Is Diego Carlos back?
I don't know. He's certainly not. I didn't notice him in the
pre-season. He was there marquee signing money last season.
I don't know if it was marquee. He was a big signing, but I mean, he's not young, you know. We were interested in him.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, is he back now though? Is he back? Does it say?
It doesn't say anything on there. I
don't follow the Villa, so I don't know. But yeah, that lineup on paper is a strong lineup.
It is. And we need to be playing our best football. We need to come out fit, ready. We need to be on the front foot. We need to be attacking. We can't be sitting back.
Diaby, Watkins, McGinn, Bailey, and Mings are the five. Really, watch on the five. Did you say Tielemans was predicted to start?
Not according to the Birmingham Live.
He looked shite last season.
Well, I mean, there's probably some, Aston Villa fans on a fan channel somewhere trying to predict their starting lineup the same way that we're about to try and predict our starting lineup.
I think theirs is more picked than ours. When you look at like the attacking three and the three central, ours it could be either. It could be either of the two lineups. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With theirs is more picked for them, I think.
Yeah, and when I look at the two teams, I think we've got a little bit extra depth over them as well. Like
100%.
Once it starts getting to about 60 minutes, I think what we can bring off the bench is going to cause more problems to them than what they can bring off the bench after 60 minutes. I mean, look, it may end up eating me words as well, but I think the longer the match goes on, let's say we have a bit of a stalemate, let's say it's a 0-0 or a 1-1 in 60 minutes and we'll make with substitutions. I think that will allow us to get on the front foot more. Because I think, I can't remember, we talked about this in the last video or not, our depth is getting, especially in the midfield area, but just in general of a team, because of these young players who've really shone in the pre-season, it just seems to have added this extra bit of depth forward.
And that's the only reason why, because when you look at it, we've only really brought in 2, but we've lost 1. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to that midfield and that attacking midfield.
Yeah, I mean...
We've brought in Tonali and Barnes and we've lost ASM. So how is it is because of the youngsters coming through. It is because Miley and Anderson. No, I'm talking about the middle.
Oh, just midfield, right?
Middle and attack, yeah. So out of that, how come our midfield just looks meaty and packed, and we've lost Willock to injury.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it
and
as well to
do. Still not 100%, is he? He only played his first game that day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. He's not 100% yet, but I think as well a lot of it's credited to Anthony Gordon looking like a new player as well. You mentioned on the last one that he's almost like a new signing, and he is. So I think this leads you up nicely, really, to predicted lineups.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, or should we go through it together? What are you going for? You go first.
I'll go Pope, obviously, and then I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the tried and true back four. I think Shaw, it was just a little knock from what I've heard that he's going to start. Will someone get the dog? I'm going to go, the back four of Trippier, Botman, Shaw, and Dan Burn. That's going to be my back four. So then this is where it gets difficult. Right, so what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say Joe Linton, Bruno, Anderson. Because I don't think Tonali's ready to play in the Premier League. And I don't think Longstaff's 100% fit. But I could be wrong on that one. I think that's the only one I could be wrong on Anderson. And then up top, as good as Gordon's been, I don't think he's going to start. I think it's going to be Isak up top. And on either side, it's going to be Harvey Barnes and Miggy. That's my 11.
Well, I went through exactly the same thought process as you, because I also went for Pope, also went for the tried and tested. I was half thinking, might they play Target and move Burn to centre back if Shaw's not 100%?
Yeah, I think that would be the move. I think that would be the move.
Yeah. But yeah, if what you're saying is correct, and it was just a bump, and Shaw's all right to go, and he hasn't
given anything away anyhow. Obviously, why would he?
Never does. Yeah. Yeah. If you need to be 100% as well. It's not good putting him in at 75% or anything. It needs to be 100%. So that would be the only possible change. But if Shaw's ready, I'd have the tried and tested. I've also went Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and I've also went Anderson.
Yeah.
Reason being, obviously injury to Joe Willock, with Longstaff just not being quite 100%. Like I said about Shaw before, the opening game of the season, a tough opening game of the season as well. Everybody needs to be 100%, and he really did shine in the pre-season. So I don't think Eddie Howe would see that we'll have to bring him in. I think you could put merit on that and say, actually, it's not that we're bringing him in because Longstaff's not 100%. He's there on merit. Definitely.
Well, both saying Bruno will probably be the defensive of the three.
Yeah. I've also went Almiron on the right-hand side. Just looked really good in pre-season. He's scoring again. The last time he did that. He was scoring all the time pre-season last season. Came into the league and carried it on. Why wouldn't you play him? He's definitely a starter for me.
Exactly.
I've also went Isaac. In the middle.
Let's just not. Let's just, if we say Isaac, we'll say it. If we say Isaac, we'll say it. I'm sick of
Isaac. We know who we mean. Now this little combination here was where another one I found really difficult, because I was like, do I go Isaac on the left, Wilson in the middle, or do I go Isaac in the middle with Gordon on the left? I went with Harvey Barnes as well.
So exactly the same.
Harvey Barnes is exactly the same team. That's exactly, and I've really thought about it. And I could be wrong. And there's every chance that Gordon could start on the left-hand side. There's every chance that Isaac could start on the left-hand side, and Wilson playing through the middle.
That's my only one that I don't think will happen. I think
it will neither. If it did happen, I wouldn't be too disappointed.
No,
but I think it will.
I think Wilson could start over Isaac as well. That could be an option. I just don't think he'll start them both together. Not with what we have on the left now.
It's going to be difficult for Wilson to take, because if they're both fully fit, how can you keep Isaac out of the team? Like, he just brings so much, and this isn't any.
Wilson's probably a better poacher.
He's class. Wilson's class. He's absolutely class. Like, there's no two ways about it. He's a mint goal scorer. He's a brilliant poacher. He's a finisher. He's strong. He's an absolute shithead as well. Like, he gets under the skin of opponents, which Isaac doesn't do as much. But I think all round, Isaac's just probably just pipping him. He's just a bit better, and how can you, I
Yeah,
think
I think it's
Isaac
gonna be
walks
his
into
season this
most
year.
teams. So do I. I really
Mhm.
do. I really do. But yeah, Harvey Barnes, I went for on the left. He looked really good in that last friendly. The cutting
Yeah.
inside, the shots from outside the box. I think he probably just gets a nod ahead of Gordon. But if Gordon did start, I also wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we're saying. The depth
He
is
might
there
do. He
in that
might
area.
reward Gordon and start him, and then bring Barnes on. Do you know what I mean? They've got them options now, and obviously it could go along staff, and then swap him out for Anderson. He could start with Miggy and then go with Murphy. He could start. He start and bring Wilson on. We've got options now. Lewis
So many
Miley as well.
options.
He did say that he wasn't going to heap too much pressure on Miley, but he could get on.
I think
Could get
Miley
on
will have.
last 10 minutes if we're trailing.
I think Miley will have a sort of similar role to what Anderson had last season.
I do as well, yeah.
Making the odd appearance, coming on as substitute occasionally, just sort of breeding them in.
Where Anderson and Tonali in that battle, and then Willock when P gets back to fit. It's good problem to have, but
It is, and I did think about Tonali as well. I thought long and hard about Tonali, and it's a couple of things. It's what a lot of people have been saying. He needs to get up to
he
speed.
needs better into that league. He needs better rating. He can't start. In my opinion, and I'm not an expert. He just doesn't look physically ready for to play against Premier League players. And I think the preseason was a great preseason for figuring that out by playing Premier League opposition.
It was, and I know you've got to take friendlies with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, he did look not up to strength against McGinn, and I think if he was playing, they would target him.
They would. He looked out of his depth against Villa. He did.
But that doesn't mean that he's not going to turn into an.
The formation was shocking. It wasn't a full strength team, so you've got to bear that in mind as well.
100%. And I've got no doubt that Tonali is going to turn into an absolutely mint player. Like there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. But yeah, like you say, it's a mint headache to have. It's an absolute class headache to have, and it's exciting. And this is like I say, if we get another centre back through the door, and I still would like to see a left back, but another centre. And I hear lots of people saying, there's call for a third striker. I'm not as desperate as some people.
No, I'm not either. I'm not as desperate either. I'm more defensive backup, central defense, because I don't. As much as I was singing the praises of Lascelles, he had a fucking shocker last time round. Like he looked back to like the way he was playing pre-Howe, and I was like, oh no, actually.
And I think that's probably why we've started looking in the market again for a centre back. Right,
great for morale, but I don't think great for the Premier League.
Yeah, it'd be great against a Sheffield Wednesday in the cup, or
Carabao early rounds FA Cup, maybe. Yeah, like I say, I've got no qualms about getting knocked out of either of those cups. Like, it really doesn't bother me this season. We love it to win something, but like I say, I just want to keep building this form, and I know Silver will come, and I'm quite excited. In part, this doesn't want to get anything just yet. Anyway, I'm enjoying this ride and this build up. So I'd much rather obviously prefer focus on the league and the Champions League. So yeah, I'm happy with that, but not the sales for the Premier League. Just in my opinion, nah.
Well, I think we should move on to scorelines and then have a little general chit chat about the Premier League. Yeah.
Right.
The opening weekend, so you can go first.
I'm going to go 3-2 to us. 3-2. I see there being goals, lots of goals. I'm going to say, because I don't know who starts, I'm going to say 1 for Isak, 1 for Almiron, and 1 for Barnes. And then Watkins and Diaby for them, even though I would hate Diaby to go score against with. Yeah.
I'm going 2-1 Newcastle. Watkins for them, Isak and Big Joe. That's my prediction. I honestly think it could be any score as well, by the way. I think there's every chance we could win convincingly. It could be close. It could be a draw. We could also get beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's what you want from an opener, man. That's what you want, isn't it? Bang, back into it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Couple of bits of.
I agree. Could be out. Could be. It's really a tight game. The the teams aren't 100 miles apart from each other. Do you know what I mean? The managers are both top-notch managers. Yeah.
Well, a couple of bits of general Premier League news I think we should touch on. First of all, the Harry Kane saga. Have you been following that today?
I have.
Weird,
not
isn't
today,
it?
no, not today. Not today, sorry.
You're not seeing it today?
What's the latest today? Nah.
Oh, so Tottenham accepted a 100 million bid from Bayern Munich, given permission to speak to the club. And there's sounds coming out now that he just doesn't fancy it, wants to stay at Tottenham for the year.
Really?
So, yeah.
No.
So this is what it's all over the news.
I don't believe that, though. I don't believe that because that would have been already known. They would have spoken to him.
This is what everybody's saying. This is what everybody's saying. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Somebody coming to his ear at the last minute and went, look, stay at Tottenham for a year. Come to us.
And then afterwards. Get him to, Man United or something for now.
Real Madrid, could it?
Could be. I think he would love to stay and break that Premier League record, but also being a team that could win something. So maybe
so strange, isn't it? Because
that Charlie's his agent. He's got one client, Harry Kane.
It's mad that. But yeah, like you say, because the amount of bids that have been going in for him, and then like no. At some stage you'd think that Bayern Munich will go, hang on, this has been going on. He is definitely interested, isn't he? Or even have probably on the sly had a word with him and went, look, we're putting these bids in for you. You do actually want to come here, don't you?
Well, yeah, all that would talking to agents, it would have been, he wants to come. Or they wouldn't have kept going. Of course, they wouldn't have kept going.
So why has he changed his mind at the last minute? Is the big question?
Maybe it's Daniel Levy leaked that to the media. He seems to me like a proper shady character. Like
he is, he definitely is. You can't trust him.
Levy with a fucking meat slice. You would leave the room. You wouldn't leave your pasty unattended if you left the room. His fingers straight in it, wouldn't he?
And the other bit I wanted to talk to you about as well, which just came out today, so if you haven't seen it, you mightn't be aware of it.
Want to sign Bruno's mate.
Paquetá, 80 million?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was out a few days ago. Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Paquetá will want to go. Why wouldn't you want to go to Man City? Why wouldn't you?
He'll definitely want to go. Of course, he'll want to go. 100% want to go.
Whether he starts is a different matter, but
is he an £80 million player?
Yeah, but
he's not, is he? He's a £50 million player. That's what he is.
Yeah.
And it's just, what is it with the market at the minute? Everything's just so inflated. It's.
Yeah.
I think it's the Saudi influence, or
definitely. Of course it is. Hiring all this money about where
Well, me personally, I'd like to see him stay at West Ham just because I don't want Man City strengthened any more than the odds. Like, I think he's a little bit he's more harmless at West Ham than more depth.
Well, that would totally affect their league position because I had them pegged as doing pretty well this year, but if they lose Paquetá, I don't see it. But yeah. What else? The big news now. Not really, obviously. I haven't really got time to get into all the signings all the clubs have done. I don't have full league. I think we should do bottom 3, top 8.
No, I'm going from me.
All right, you do your full league. Hurry up.
Because you didn't do one, this is now the official all the pies standards.
Do bottom 3. Do bottom 3 first, and I'll do my bottom 3.
Right. Okay. So I've got
Luton.
Who you got 20th?
Luton.
Have you? I've got Sheffield United.
And have you got Luton next? Because I've got Sheffield United next.
No, I haven't.
Have you not? Right. Well, I've got Luton, Sheffield United, and then it's between Wolves. For me, it's between Wolves and Everton. I'm going to say Everton because I hope it is. They've negotiated that situation for too long. They haven't strengthened. I hope it's their year to go down.
I've went bottom 3. I've went Sheffield United, then Wolves, then Luton. That's me. I didn't want to put Luton in the bottom 3.
No, I didn't. But
I really didn't. I thought myself,
it is going to be that though. I'd put money on it.
They're going to be there or there, but I don't think they'll be rock bottom.
So we've had pretty much the same bottom 3. Because I was going to easily swap Wolves with Everton. I could have easily, and I mean, my head says it will be Wolves, but my heart wants it to be Everton.
Well, I want it to be Everton, but I don't think it's going to be. I think they're going to be in the relegation battle again. I really do. I've got Burnley at 17,
Right.
and then I've got Everton just above them at 16. So
Keep going. I'm going to talk through all the clubs. We've got
Aye.
10 minutes left.
15th, I've got Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
14th, I've got Bournemouth.
Okay. He's all reasonable.
13th.
He's all reasonable. And nothing stood out as yet to correct you on. Go on.
13th, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
12th, I think there's going to be a drop off for this team. No Mitrovic.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Fulham,
down
yeah.
in tools. Fulham.
Yeah,
I'm going
agree.
for Fulham at 12.
Yeah.
11th, just outside the top 10. I've went
Brentford.
West Ham.
West Ham. Yeah. Yeah. I'd see them there. Yeah.
Then we'll move into the top half of the table. 10th.
Brentford.
Then I've got Brentford.
Ninth.
9th. This might be the first time we disagree.
Brighton. You can say Brighton on you.
I'm going to say Brighton. Yeah. I went Brighton for 9th.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling Casido's going to go. He is going to go, and it is like, I know it is a cliche, but yeah, they are. I've got the extra games, and I don't think they've got the same depth as some of the other teams that have got the extra games.
They haven't, but I think they've got a great manager. But yeah, move up again. Go on then 8th, and then I'll.
8th, I've got now from 8th through till about 4th position.
It could be any.
Yeah. I was influenced by the news that's been going around today when I did
got Villa.
Well. No,
Tottenham. Yeah.
Got Tottenham in 8th place. But they could easily finish in the top 6.
Then you've got Villa.
7th, I went for Villa. Yeah. Sorry, Villa fans, if you're watching, you're not watching.
How you've got how you've I can already see. Yeah. And then you've got. Let's try to guess who you've got. So what's next?
6th.
You've got right. You've got Chelsea or us.
Chelsea.
Right.
I think do you know they finished 12th last season?
Yeah.
Madness that. So they're definitely not going to be there again. But I know that they are trying to strengthen, but it's just it looks a little slapdash to me. Again, like the signings aren't really where they need to be. 5th,
us.
Liverpool. I went Liverpool. Aye. So yeah, probably a little bit of biasness. I could have easily put us 5th.
That's where I put us 5th.
I could have easily put us 5th.
That's where I put us.
Something inside of us went, actually, I still feel like Liverpool are transitioning a bit. Yes, they've signed McAllister, right? But they've also got rid of Henderson. They've getting rid of Milner's away. There's quite a few players that they've getting rid of, and I don't really see a massive improvement from them.
I don't think they're done yet. The only way I'd have them that or below is if Salah goes to Saudi.
I know they're not done yet, but the season starts in 2 days.
I know. But whether Salah stays or not, and his head's got to have been turned by the million a week or whatever stupid number Saudi are chucking his way.
If Salah goes,
I hope he does.
I think they'll finish less than 5th.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I hope he does go, because 1, I hate Liverpool. 2, it'll help us, and 3, it'll help my FPL team because I won't have to have Salah in, and I'll have free money to free up and spread around a bit. So yeah. So then you've got us at 4th.
I do.
And then you've got Man United.
No. Well, this pained us this bit. So up until last week, I would have had Man United. Mm-hmm. Now they're getting the striker situation sorted out.
But he's not ready. Højlund, he's not ready.
Is he not ready? Is he not? Oh well, I'm going to stick with what I've put. I've went Arsenal, Man U, Man City.
Right.
But I think it's going to be them 3 battling it out. To be honest with you,
I think the top 3 are going to be the same positions as they finished last season. I think it's going to be Man U, Arsenal, Man City.
Could easily be. Man City are winning the league.
Mm-hmm.
Man City are winning the league. I think we're going to be in the conversation up until around about November, December, because the table can change really quickly still, even within December. A few results and it can change. So even if you're 8, 9, 10 points off first place, there'll be some other teams in that same category that will still be looking as title contenders. So let's say, for example, Arsenal are 9 points off the lead come December. They'll still be saying, "Oh, but they're still in the title race." So if they're still in the title race, and you're on 10 points behind, you're still in the title race.
Depends how we do them first 4 fixtures, which are Aston Villa at home, Man City away, Liverpool at home, and Brighton away. They are tough first 4 fixtures.
Massive, but I prefer to get them out the way.
I do as well. Because if you look at the end of the season, it's much easier on paper. Much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to last year's running.
I'd much prefer to get them out of the way, because if you do get a couple of results, I think at the beginning of the season is the time that you probably could get a result from Might get a result from City. Yeah,
City always come good.
They come good at the end. So did Liverpool. Look at Liverpool last season; they came good at the end.
Yeah.
So I'd rather play them then than you know.
100%
and if you do get points off them, and then you come into the easier run,
100% agree. 100% agree. I think the only thing that I'd say about Liverpool is that they haven't got European football. They will be focusing. I think Klopp will not have a stinker like last season.
I've got European football. They're playing Thursdays.
Did they get Europa?
They finished 5th, didn't they?
I can't remember.
They finished 5th.
All right, then yeah.
And they're playing Thursdays, which is worse, even worse again.
All right then.
You've got less rest time.
Yeah, I'll go with your table there. I'll go with it. Like, the only really change I have is, like, I have the same winner, and we'll have the same European Champions League places pretty much, because you've got us finishing 4th, I've got 5th. Apparently this year 5th will get your Champions League, so you've got the same kind of thing. Obviously, we're not interested in Europa.
Well, it's dependent, isn't it? That fifth Champions League is dependent. You'll apparently
I know it's not guaranteed. Yeah, not guaranteed. But we've got the same bottom 3 apart from one. So, but I could have easily put Wolves in Everton's place. It was between them 2 for me.
So, and I, by the way, I think, who I put in the bottom 10, all of those will be in the relegation battle. For a large chunk of the season, will be the teams that will be in and around, and there'll be a lot of flip-flopping. But I do think, unfortunately, Sheffield United will be the team to prop up the rest of the league. I think they're my pick for.
Well, I have them in Luton as well. I have the 2 of them. I have the 2 of them struggling. Yeah, and I have Burnley staying up. It's the only new rivals that will stay as Burnley.
Oh well, we're in agreement.
Yes, we are. Wow, it's a fucking rare occurrence, isn't it? Right. Well, everyone, comment below with your opinions of our score predictions. What your score predictions are. I don't know why I'm saying this, because you never do comment, you fucking bastards. Comment below your score predictions. What you think about the league, what you think we'll finish, how you think we'll go down. Comment at or below. I know we said we're just going to change it to a weekly podcast, but we decided, we'll just keep doing them. So some weeks we might miss it, some weeks we won't. It's like us anyway. We're not a regular and reliable thingy. So whenever you see a video pop up, just like it, just share. Instagram, fucking post, like, subscribe, whatever, all that shit. Do what you fucking want. I'm not off, not your ma. We'll be back here. We'll definitely come back after the Villa game. Might even do a little vlog for the first game of the season. We'll see. But yeah, everyone, really looking forward to it. Thank you if you have watched. Thank you if you do keep supporting the channel. And we'll see you after the weekend, where we reflect on what's happened and preview what's coming up. So yeah, fuck off.
Come on.